My name is Hugo Ribatika, and I work in the broadcast and media space. I have been for the last many, many years. I love sport, absolutely, for a number of different reasons, but primarily for me because it allows me to challenge myself. It allows me to challenge those I play sport with. So if I'm playing tennis, I'm always trying to beat the next person. If it's golf, then it's more about me as an individual. I think over time you run across a number of people who haven't looked after themselves, haven't looked after their health, or have lost their health, had their health taken away from them. And it kind of poses a question for you: what are you doing about your well-being? What are the sort of things that you can contribute to in order to help yourself and help other people? So largely it's because well-being is a good space to be. It allows you to give off positive energy, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. For kids, I have two kids, and obviously I want to be a positive influence on those kids. They're way younger than I am, so I have to do a lot of running around in order to keep up with them. So I think that is one of the main reasons. Number two, I suppose also, again, because it allows you to give a positive influence to the people around you. And the work that I do, part of which is motivating those around me, I think is absolutely critical that I give off a positive energy, that I'm a positive role model. Sheesh, a number of things, but one of those things is fear, the fear to fail, the fear to lose, because if I don't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, if I don't get up at 4:30, then there's somebody else who's getting up before me and trying to do the things that I would like to do. And because the world's a jungle, right? So if you delay, then you know what? Earliest bird catches the worm. So I want to be that first bird that gets up and catches that worm. So as a newscaster, my job essentially involves preparing for bulletins that happen every single day of the week. And because it's sport, it means I have to keep abreast with whatever's happening in the world of sport. And trust me, there is something happening every single second of the day. But not only that, but you are employed as an expert. So the amount of information that you have to take and the amount of information that you have to assimilate is huge across many fronts that ordinarily you would not be exposed to. Point in question is, only a few weeks ago I started doing commentary on rugby. Rugby is the one sport that I never played in school. So whilst for the average person it's, hey, you know what, I can talk about rugby any time of day, for me it's been a process of learning how to assimilate information and then regurgitate that information in a manner that is absolutely entertaining. Number two, my work is about being the best that I can be and being the best out there in the world. So that is my primary focus when I do whatever it is that I do, that I aim to be the best, the person who's watching me from across the screen, such as the people that are watching now, must have been thinking to themselves, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, he's put in the work, he's sufficiently entertaining. But I think it's also very important to point out that it is very enjoyable work because it is very different. You cover a whole bunch of sports. There's a lot of travel involved. You're in one part of the world. You meet new people. You experience different cultures and continually challenging yourself to do better. I see a number of changes. I think for me, from the corporate sector, it becomes more and more critical as companies are trying to become more and more profitable to ensure that they get absolutely maximum value from every single one of their staff, every single one of their employees. Now, if you're ill or if you're not in a good space or well-being is not prime to you, it means that you cannot be 100% productive. So I think there's going to be a shift where a lot of corporates are going to focus on the well-being of their staff. It's going to be mandatory. It has to be mandatory. There's also technology which comes into effect. A lot of applications are now readily available. So you as an individual can download an app and work out your own program. You don't necessarily have to go and look for an expert. So it's become cheaper to live a good life, to enjoy that space of well-being. There are also a lot of pressures around children and issues, particularly with obesity, and how people are going to deal with obesity in the next 5 years. It means that the whole wellness and well-being process is going to start much, much earlier in life, in my take. So ordinarily, you'd wait for a kid to get to 14 or 15 and realize that, you know what, they're a little bit overweight. But I think the next few years is going to be, how do you live a certain lifestyle as a 5-year-old, as a 6-year-old, as a 10-year-old, to ensure that you don't get to that space where you are obese or whatever, but that wellness for you becomes a family policy, if you will. Start. That's the simplest thing. Start. In whatever way you can, take the first step. Number 2, don't push yourself too hard. Don't set goals that are unrealistic. I find that for a lot of the people that I know, a lot of my friends, people I've encouraged to get into the wellness space, it's always, you know what, this is what I want to do, and I will achieve it in 3 months or whatever it is. Some of the goals that I set for myself, and even though I've been in that space a while, are 12-month, 18-month, 24-month goals. What it does is, if after 3 months I don't see as much progress as I'd like to, I'm not discouraged, because it is long-term. But if my goal is to lose or gain X amount of kilos or whatever it is in the next 2 weeks and it doesn't happen, then I'm going to be demotivated and unlikely to do it. So my biggest advice is start, write your goals down, stick to them, and also get somebody who will support you. You know, the sort of person who's asking you, dude, this is what we've agreed on. Have you done it? What do you need? How can I help you? So you need somebody who's going to motivate you and support you on those days when you don't feel like doing it, but still need to do it.